Hey Trinity family, welcome to the Midweek Minute. Hopefully you are doing great on this Wednesday after Christmas. I kind of imagine that a lot of people still have gifts and little bits of wrapping paper still around the house and working your way through Christmas goodies and all that stuff. That's kind of what we're doing at our house, and sort of using that new year as a time of getting back to normal, especially with diet and all that. But I hope you are doing well. Our family's doing good. So wanted to give you a few updates and some announcements on what's going on with the church, and give you some encouragement for this Wednesday afternoon. I'll start with just talking about where we're at with church schedule. We are still going to be online only this Sunday, with the plan and the hope of going back to regular services, 8:30 and 10:30 in person on January 10th. Okay, so that is the plan for right now. That is what we're anticipating doing, unless something really out of the blue happens with, I don't know, sometimes there's weird things that happen this year. So, but yeah, we should be back to in-person worship on the 10th, but we are online only for this Sunday the 3rd. So just wanted to let you please be aware of that. Please communicate that to anybody who might be asking. In regards to our worship through our offerings, in regards to our giving, if you have offerings or gifts that you wanted to give for tax purposes or whatever for the end of the year, or if you just wanted to stop by and bring in your regular tithe, you can do that. You can also go on our church website, tumcfrewsburg.com, and there is a link to set up online giving if you'd like to do it that way, or you can save your tithes for when we're back to normal. So however you want to handle it, please do. But Karen or I will be in the office today and tomorrow, especially if you wanted to stop by and bring in anything you need. I'm excited for this Sunday. We're starting a new series called Reflection, and with this series, we're kind of taking the beginning of the year, January and into February, to look at who we are as a church, who we are as individual disciples of Christ, and sort of look at different mirrors that God holds up to us and asking us, how are you doing in these areas? I know we have all sorts of mirrors in our lives for different reasons. That we have a bathroom mirror we use to make sure all the stuff's out of our teeth. I make sure my beard's all looking good and all that stuff. And we have rear view mirrors for the church, or rear view mirrors for our cars, rather, not for the church. We have side view mirrors for our cars. We have full length mirrors in our homes. We have all sorts of different things. But for this series, the purpose isn't looking at us and making sure we like what we see. It is the different mirrors from Scripture that God holds up to us, and He's asking us, what are you seeing in this? Are you reflecting me? Jesus saying, are you reflecting me in the ways that I'm calling you to reflect me? Are you living out these values that we feel God has called us to live out as a church? And so it's a series on some introspection, some reflection of who we are and what God is calling us to be. And there's a lot of different passages we're going to look at in this series. One of the main ones that we're going to cover this Sunday is Psalm 139, verses 23 and 24. Psalm 139, verses 23 and 24. It says this. This is a beautiful passage. Psalm 139 in general is a beautiful passage, but starting in verse 23, it says, "Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way in me, and lead me in the way everlasting." So this passage rather speaks to our goal with this series of doing some self-reflection, seeing, okay, are we living out these values that we say are so important to us as a church and as individual disciples of Christ? And if we're not, God, search us and know us, guide us. If there's any offensive way in us, if there's any ways we're not living out what you have called us to, wake us up to that, help us repent, and lead us in the way that you have called us to walk. And so, yeah, that's sort of a preview of what we're going to be looking at this Sunday. One last thing, I'd really like to start up confirmation classes starting in the month of January, but I need to know which student and which family are interested. I've only heard back from one family so far. So if you have a student, 7th grade or up, basically 7th through 12th grade, and if they would like to be a part of confirmation classes, please contact me and let me know. I know that not everybody grew up in a church tradition that has confirmation. I did not do that. To me, I didn't really learn the value of confirmation until I started at the last church I was at, which was United Methodist Church. But confirmation is a really, I think, meaningful way for students who are kind of coming into their adulthood to come into their adulthood as Christ followers, to claim for themselves what they believe. That this is my faith, not my parents' faith, not my pastor's faith, not my grandparents' faith, but that their walk with Christ is something that they are claiming for them and learning what that looks like. And so if you have questions about confirmation or would like to just talk to me about, we're sort of interested but don't really know what it's about, please reach out to me. You can text me or call me or email me, whatever. And I'd love to talk to you about it. Okay? I think that's all I have for today. Hopefully you're all doing well. Please reach out if you need anything. If you have any prayer needs, I know we sent out a prayer need for Wendy Langford this past week. If you could please keep her family in your prayers, I know they would really, really greatly appreciate that. If anything else comes up, prayers, praises, needs, questions, please reach out to me, reach out to the church office, and we'll get back to you really, really quick. But yeah, I really hope everybody's doing great and you're recuperated from Christmas and ready to start a new year as a church family. I'm excited about it and can't wait to see you all again. Hopefully that'll be really soon. Have a great week.